Hello there guys, and welcome to my new series, Hypermine. The reason I'm calling it that is because for the vast majority of the series, it is going to be at times 2 speed, as you can see here. Anyways, I started up a new world, and I wanted to show the first few days, just so you guys wouldn't be totally lost, and then I figured I would cut out a whole bunch of the just getting set up and gathering bunches of resources and stuff, because that's always pretty boring to watch and there's just a lot of it out there. So I, as I said, I decided to just show the beginning so you guys knew a little bit about what the world looked like, and then get set up and then come back and do a bunch more. Which, by the way, this I recorded several days ago, and I would have had it out much sooner, except I couldn't find time to record the narration for it. Then the reason that I'm doing narration post is because, as you can probably guess, it would sound really funny if I just recorded my voice while I was playing and then sped it up to ×2 and be like, you know. So that's why I'm doing it now. Although I may try that just for kicks, because it might sound really funny for like an intro or something. Anyways, I'm just getting set up here, and I get a little carried away exploring this cave. I kept thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna end really soon, and food was not on my mind, so I was just sprinting all the way through this cave, which was really dumb. And I actually almost starved to death later on because of that, but all is well in the end. So as you can see, I'm just going through, and then there's all these mobs, and I decide, you know what, I'm gonna get in trouble here if I don't just leave and do other things. So I skirt my way around them and leave. I did have a lot of trouble for several days with food because I'm not used to having to worry about it. Usually there's some form of food right there off the bat, and this time I didn't see one, and I didn't bother to go look for one, which I should have, because it turns out there were some cows and pigs just over the hill that's behind, well, over there. You can't, I don't actually pause and look at it, so I'll just have to wait for an opportunity to point it out. But anyways, right about now I'm realizing, yeah, food's going to be an issue, so all I've got right now are seeds. So I decide to start a little wheat farm, which sustains me for quite a while, and it's still around, and I still use it because I haven't gotten rid of it yet. But I will do that at some point, because it's kind of in the way, because that's where I decide to put my mine, since that's just how it worked out. Also, in this world, I want to do a lot of really cool, totally useless builds and farms and stuff. Since Minecraft doesn't really set any goals for you, you have to set your own. And my personal goal for this series is to build every farm an abusive mechanic that I can in the game. So there's probably going to be a lot of redstone and things like that involved. And I'm not super good with the redstone, but that's okay, because I need to learn how to use it a little better anyways. I've already got the basics really well down, and I'm way better than most of my friends and people that I know. But I'm not like Etho or Doc or anything, but I hope someday I can be totally awesome like them. You never know, right? Anyways, here I just decided to come up and grab a whole bunch of grass and seeds, get a little more dirt, and see what the land looked like. I don't pause for too long, but that's just because I get distracted by the sheep, because I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'll grab 3 sheep and get a bed, and then that didn't happen because, well, I was just a little bit, how do you say it? I was very distracted by what was going on behind me in real life at the time. So I kind of kept losing track of what I was doing, which was a little bit, come on man, get your head together. But that's alright, it turned out well in the end, and I did get a bed eventually. Although, it would have been nicer to have it sooner. You don't really need a bed in this game, I found. I actually, interesting fact, I actually started playing this game about a week and a half, 2 weeks before it went beta, so beds weren't around for a long time for me, so I like them, but even when I have them, I don't use them all that much, just because it's not like I find them an abusive mechanic or anything, or cheap. I just don't think about it, because I never really got used to them. Anyways, here I'm settling in for the night and expanding the farm a little bit, and I decide to make a large cut to a few days later, I believe, because I, as you can see, am very hungry, and wheat grows extremely slowly. So while I was gone, I harvested a couple of trees, expanded the little hovel there, and grew a whole bunch of bread. Well, 4 pieces, but it's enough, and it actually sustains me until there's more wheat grown, and from here on out I'm set for food, so we don't have to worry about that as long as I keep farming it as I go, which I do. Anyways, I'm just trying to get some wood and stuff so that I'm ready to go down and start my staircase to hell, or bedrock, whichever you prefer, since hell is actually the nether in this game. Also, I got lucky and unlucky at the same time when I did this, because there was no lava on the way down, which is great for mining and stuff, but it sucks when you need some obsidian for your enchanting table, which for me is a huge part of how I play this game, because it just makes things so much faster and so much more convenient, and the fortune and silk touch enchantments are totally worth the time that it takes to get them, in my opinion. And here I finally get a bed to get rid of the rain, because I like the way it looks, but I can't stand the way it sounds. I don't think anybody, at least that I know of, likes the way the rain sounds. Excuse me. Anyways, I'm going back up on the mountain here. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking at this point, since it's been a few days, but I do remember I wanted to get another look at the land and just kind of get an idea of what I wanted to do, and keep that in the back of my mind while I was going through and gathering resources, which I find is almost always a good idea, because then those ideas can like cultivate in your brain, and you can be thinking about them while you're doing mindless activities like mining and stuff, and refine your designs in your brain, and then when you're building them, they usually turn out better because you've thought about them. And I think, I'm not totally set on this, but I think I've decided that what I want to do is have a large mountain village with lots of bridges and stuff across the valleys and ravines and stuff. And I think it'll look pretty cool, but we'll see after I started building it. Anyways, I got a little distracted over here. I was like, whoa, this is cool. I want to put a house right there. But I ended up actually putting my cow farm over there, as you'll see in the next episode. Speaking of the next episode, I had it all ready to go. I had this huge, it was actually really cool, a montage of bits and clips of me working and getting things set up. And it was really long. And I'm super ticked off about this, because what happened was I was editing the last little bits, and then I started getting errors, and every single clip, just one after the other, was going black, and you couldn't see anything. You could still hear the sound, but you couldn't see any of it, and I could not fix it for the life of me. So I got fed up with it, and I decided, you know what, that's okay. I didn't make a whole lot of progress. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete it and start over again. So I did, and then it wouldn't let me delete it, because apparently the Movie Maker program that I use was still open, even though I had closed it several times. So that was like, what's going on here? So I had to open the, I don't remember what that's called, but the control panel where you can close programs manually and stuff. I had to open that up and close it down that way, and then it would delete. And then right after I deleted it, I was like, huh, I wonder if that's why it wasn't working. And I still don't know for sure because I didn't bother to find out. I probably should have, but I'm assuming that's what it was. So if it ever happens again, I'm just gonna close the program down and restart. Which, if that happens, I'm gonna be a little bit ticked off because I put a lot of work into editing that, and then it just didn't work. So I actually got really lucky in this world. Usually, as far as iron goes, I am just starved constantly, and I found a lot right off the bat, and it was enough to set me up with a suit of armor and get going with picks and stuff. And I didn't get super lucky with the diamonds, but I never, once I found enough for my first pick, I never ran out before it was broken, so I always had enough diamonds to make another pick, so far anyways. And once I get the enchantment table totally set up, I will be set for diamonds because of the whole fortune enchantment, which is by far my favorite out of them all. And then after that, I would say probably efficiency 5 because it's totally amazing. And some people find that going through the whole anvil to get your efficiency 5 and it take just using so many diamonds because you have to get 2 efficiency 4s and combine them isn't worth it, and then you have to like repair it and stuff. I find that it is, because in the long run, if you get a good pick like that and then you keep it around and take care of it, it'll just last for a long time before you can't repair it anymore because it's too expensive. Because for those of you who don't know, every time you use something in an anvil, it adds 5 more levels for when you do the same thing next time. But even so, it'll last so long that it saves you way more time than you had to put in to get it. And I've explored pretty much all of the cave, and just grabbing a few more resources before I head out and start my staircase. But I believe that forgot what I was gonna say. That happens a lot to me, it seems. Anyways, I got a little turned around there. I was like, what? Where am I going? And then so I had to go out a different way because I got totally lost. I seem to do that a lot, especially in caves. Like, I love caving. It's so much fun, but I can never keep my bearings. Like, where am I gonna go? I can do just fine on the overworld, but when I'm inside a cave, I get lost all the time. Which is why I tend to do more strip mines than caves, because it's pretty difficult to get lost in a straight tunnel. So I'm just doing the final preparations, getting some more food, putting away all the junk in my inventory, and starting on my suit of armor before I go down to bedrock. Also, as you can see, I grab a bucket, and then I get a little distracted, because I'm like, I got a bucket. I'm gonna grab some water and expand my farm just a little bit, and I never actually really did that, so this was kind of a waste, but you know, you do what you do. And I wanted to have the water hidden, so I did this whole process, and it just strikes me as a little bit odd and uncharacteristic of me to do something like this. But then again, I don't often watch myself play games, so I might do stuff like that all the time. I guess I'll see as time progresses. Anyways, as I was recording this, I was like really nervous, especially at the start. I guess that's to be expected, but it was like, oh my goodness, everything I'm doing is being recorded. And I have no idea if I'm going to be able to edit out little fails and stuff. And it turns out that I can, and it's actually way easier than I thought it would be. But I decided not to edit out very much because I find it's just not as enjoyable to watch if it's a series of um, just moments like this where nothing is going wrong, and it's often quite hilarious when something majorly bad happens, which fortunately for me, nothing has happened like that yet, but I'm sure something will. And I had a bunch of really funny in the next episode that was gonna go up but didn't, that I've been talking about. I had a whole bunch of funny creeper explosions, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go kill this creeper, and then boom, it was like 10 feet away from me and blew up. And it was just, I started in real life while I was playing, I started laughing because it was so, to me anyways, it was so hilarious. Unfortunately, you'll never get to see this. And here is kind of a Minecraft history moment. First emerald I ever mined, because I play this game a lot, but I never seem to be in extreme hills biomes, like ever. And I spawned in one, and I decided, I'm gonna stay here. And I actually often forget that they even exist, because to me, they're mostly useless because it's, I don't, a lot of people like the emerald block, but I kind of think it's disgusting looking. I think it's one of the ugliest blocks in the game, so I never bothered to even go looking for villages and stuff. Some people really, really like it, and I can see why, but it's not for me. Although, since I'm doing the whole village thing, I'm thinking this time that I'm going to have to go out and find one and have some real villagers. And we're almost at the end here, and I'm just hollowing out a little room for me to start my strip mine. But I decide in the end that I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to turn it into a large room at bedrock layer, and I'll explain a little bit more about why I did that at a later date. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you next time.